Presentation, guys. I know we're going to, we had some fun stuff, but this is a little bit of a serious talk today. And I want you all to kindly put your ears together and your attention together because it is a very critical thing that we need to think about, especially when we are increasing in chronological age. As we become seniors, we definitely need to think about our well being. September is actually the fall prevention month. Why they call it the fall prevention month? Because it is a month that gives you the awareness of how you can avoid falling and how you can prevent that from happening, because your vulnerability or your chances of falling down after the age of 65 increases. And there are multiple reasons why that happens, and that is the presentation I wanted to do today, where I will be sharing. If you can just give me a minute here. Give me 1 minute, Geeta ji. Okay, awesome. So today's presentation is going to be on. Are you able to see my screen, Geeta ji?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. We are going to be talking about nutrition for fall prevention. And why is it so critical to be aware of this? Because it's not necessary that everybody is going to have the risk of falling down. Maybe you have stayed healthy all through, you've maintained your muscle mass, but you never know. That is why we call it an accident. So there are incidences and there are more vulnerable chances of us having a fall. And if you've had a fall once, you could have multiple other falls. I'm not being negative about this, but I'm just saying that the vulnerability is more. I'm very positive about our life and our progress in life, and I always think it is important to think positive, but being cautious is equally important. And that being said, I figured today we will do a nice recap about some of the things we've already talked about in terms of nutrition, but I'm going to reinforce this on the aspects of fall prevention. So why is it so important for fall prevention is what we're going to talk about. So I just got some statistics for you here. The statistics basically says that about 36 million falls are reported among older adults each year, resulting in more than 32,000 deaths. I actually attended a seminar and we were talking about it. And this was a senior citizen seminar that we were attending for insurance purposes. And we heard that the first cause for deaths among seniors is not cardiovascular disease, it is not cancer, it is not blood pressure, but the first cause for deaths is actually falls. And it was quite alarming to hear this. Each year, about 3 million older adults are treated in emergency department for a fall injury. 1 out of every 5 falls causes an injury, such as broken bones or a head injury. Each year, at least 300,000 older people are hospitalized for hip fractures. Sorry, guys, these are all a little depressive facts, but this is facts and we need to know about facts. More than 95% of hip fractures external are caused by falling, usually by falling sideways. Women fall more often than men and account for 3/4 of all hip fractures. Very important points to remember. So, eating healthy helps decrease your risk of falling by supporting healthy muscles and bone strength. Eat the right amount of calories to maintain a healthy weight. Being overweight is also a concern. Being underweight is also a concern for risk of falling. If you need to lose weight, combine eating less with a daily exercise program, and that would help prevent muscle loss. I'm going to be dwelling on this muscle loss thing. Very, very important, guys, for us to remember. If you're underweight, on the same order, eat smaller, frequent meals, calorie dense meals. Yani ke there should be a lot of nourishment in every meal that you eat. If you are feeding your child, you will always think, am I feeding him the right food? Am I feeding him the right nutrition? वैसे ही आपको अपने बारे में सोचना चाहिए कि मैं जब खा रही हूँ, मैं जब खाता हूँ, वो am I getting all the nourishment in every single meal? And that is very, very critical. So treat yourself like your child. that you would feed, how you would feed your child. So the first thing is protein. I cannot stress enough, as in enough, that protein is very critical as you are increasing in chronological age. After 65, we start losing muscle mass. About 50 years of age, women start losing it earlier at menopause. Men start losing it anywhere around 50 or 55. You are going to lose some amount of muscle weight. And if you are looking to lose weight, let's say if you're losing about 20% of body weight, 2% wahan se to muscle weight hoga hi. There is no, it is inevitable. So you have to be a little mindful that you want to maintain the skin trigger. And that happens when you start seeing that you have a skin sag, or, you know, you do not have the toning of the muscles. जैसे बोलते हैं, we, you know, before and all, we do a lot of those busky and those, you know, in the Malla Yuddha, you do a lot of those dumbbells and everything, you know, in the villages. They used to do that with a purpose, and women used to carry a lot of weight in terms of carrying the pots or carrying weight on the, from taking the water from the well or taking the clothes. These were all very good weight bearing exercises that we used to do. Unfortunately, life today has changed, and we have definitely become more sluggish in our activities and our routines, and weight bearing exercises have significantly reduced, which increases our incidences for falling or losing bone weight or muscle weight. Most men require anywhere from 55 to 60 grams of protein each day. We have spoken about this, whether you are a non-vegetarian or a vegetarian, whether you're Shakahari or when you eat mass, it doesn't matter. You have to get anywhere between 50 to 60 grams of protein for men, and women require anywhere from 45 to 50 grams of protein. Eat protein with every meal. Again, pay attention. Look at your plate for a few seconds. Am I getting protein in every meal? Is there any protein that I have in every meal? And what are the choices of protein? हमने तो पहले पढ़ा है इसके बारे में. We have learnt about it. We have dwelled about it. We have spoken about it. The best sources of protein are dairy protein, egg protein, fish protein, meat protein. Of course, you can be a pure vegetarian or a vegan and get a lot of your protein too, because now they have a lot of the pulses, the lentils, the grains, and a lot of the other ethnic foods too, where you can get a lot of protein. And many of the vegetables also have protein, but it is a combination of these vegetables that you get, where you get approximately your 50 grams or 60 grams of protein. Okay, so let's see where I can get my protein, just an average, okay? For example, if you ate about 3 ounces of fish, 3 ounces of meat, or 3 ounces of egg, you get 21 grams of protein. Definitely that's on the top of the list, because this is animal product. The next living being after humans is animals. So when you look at them, they are also made out of muscles and more protein. And then you go down the food chain, you will see that the protein goes down. The next important protein source will be dairy products. Of course, if you do not take milk and if you have lactose intolerance, you can also do soy milk. And I was very surprised that soy milk can give you 11 grams of protein versus regular milk can only give you 8 grams of protein. Yani ki almond milk can also do the same thing. Oat milk can also do the same thing. So the serving size could be just 1 cup, but you could get more amount of protein for that one serving, whether it's soy milk or the regular milk. Cottage cheese, for example, or paneer, for example, a half a cup approximately can give you 14 grams of protein. Very similar when you take lentils, or you take your soybean, or you take your soya burger, or you take your, the soya chunks. Those can give you half a cup of cooked soy will give you, or half a cup of just soy will give you anywhere from 14 to 18 grams of protein. And today, every nutritional facts is there for you, like ragi or the lentils or the pulses. Is sabhi mein protein hote hain. Make sure you get the protein in every single meal, because that is very critical for your muscle weight. The second important thing, which we have spoken about time and time again, vitamin D. keeping your bones stronger and your muscles stronger happens with vitamin D. This vitamin D, which is called as a happy hormone vitamin, doesn't actually come directly from the source that you get it, which means when you get the vitamin D, it comes in an inactive form. When you take it into the body has other precursors, or the body has other ingredients that mixes it up together and makes it as the available vitamin D for you. So going outside in the sun for about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't go out when it is scorching hot. 2 baje ke time mein sab, especially when you are looking at the ozone layer and everything. But when there is active sunlight, make sure your skin is exposed at least a bit. India or in other countries, they're also very concerned about tanning their skin and you become dark. That is actually a healthy way of people actually go to the tanning centers to get dark. When we are darker complexion, we are more concerned about it sometimes that our skin will get dark because of the sun, which is not true. Yes, the radiations can be harmful, but you can put a light sunscreen and still go out at least 10 to 15 minutes to jana hi hai. Then you get a lot more sunlight. Michigan, for example, is a place where you do not get enough sunlight. So there is a major epidemic of vitamin D deficiency. So, like I said, vitamin D, especially if you have kidney problems, you have to consume a supplement also for vitamin D. And why this is, you will say, Lalita, you're a nutritionist. Why are you telling us to take supplements? The reason I say that to you is because kidney is the active organ that makes the vitamin D. And when you have some disorders in the kidney, or if you have other bone disorders, there are other diseases, there may be a requirement for you to take a vitamin D shot or take vitamin D supplements or take a prescription medication for vitamin D. Especially after 65, please go get your check with your bone density. Make sure your calcium levels are not too high or not too low. Make sure your phosphorus levels are regular. All this, when you do your regular physical exams, you can find out. So please check with your primary care provider whether you require a vitamin D supplement. Some of the natural sources where you get vitamin D, apart from natural sources of sunlight, the precursors of vitamin D are from anything that has got fat in it, because it is a fat soluble vitamin. Yani ki when you take vitamin D, it comes from a fat source. It doesn't come from a water source. So fish, your some of the lentils like the pigeon peas, your cheese, your egg, your milk, all of these are fortified also with vitamin. That means they are added. That means they don't have it naturally. Usme add kiya hai. They enrich it. Even sometimes a lot of the foods you will see enriched and fortified, which means they have added the vitamin D to it. So the next important thing, calcium. This is a big concern today, not only for men, not only for women, but also for men. Women, when they have the menopause age, that is when the calcium levels will start dropping because your bones do not have that estrogen to protect you. That is why they say after menopause, you have to take calcium supplements. Everything starts going downhill for a little bit. You have to be more aware of your calcium levels. बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं होना चाहिए, बहुत कम भी नहीं होना चाहिए, because you want to get the right amount of calcium from the foods that you eat. Many times क्या हो जाता है कि calcium, when you get it from the foods, there are a lot of blockers. यानी कि, for example, there is something called oxalates, or there are other chemicals which will block that calcium to be absorbed from the food. So even if I eat spinach, even if I eat broccoli, even if I eat cabbage, even if I eat a lot of the green leafy vegetables, sometimes the calcium availability is not satisfied because there is blockages in the foods. This is just a very natural phenomenon of the nature. It is trying to defend itself from it being absorbed fully. Just like we all have our own defense mechanism, fruits and vegetables also have their own defense mechanism in how they balance the minerals in them. But some better sources would be nuts and seeds. Fig, for example, is an excellent source of calcium. There is concern that after a certain age, if you have too much calcium, that can be a problem too. So get your parathyroid gland checked, because that is the one that produces the calcium and keeps it intact. most men require anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams of calcium. For example, if you're drinking a glass of milk, that will be 1/3 of your calcium requirements. If you're taking 2 cubes of little cheese, that will be another 1/3. If you're taking a bunch of a bowl of spinach in your palak paneer, that will be about another half amount. So all of that combined, for example, fortified calcium foods will be example calcium orange juice. And also calcium ke saath, the other aided nutrient is iron. So vitamin C and iron is something that you want to take alongside with calcium foods. So once again, we talked about vitamin D, which is important for calcium, and calcium, which is important for vitamin D. So it goes both ways. They go hand in hand, which are bone healthy foods. Next one, I wanted to kind of give you just an insight on, even though I'm not a nurse practitioner or a clinician, these was just simple tips on what we need to do in terms of preventing falls. Remove tripping hazards. Anything that is going to trip you, anything that's books or anything in your way. When you have grandchildren around, be more mindful about it. Install grab bars in the bathrooms or both around the toilet and in the shower. Very important. Frequent use, keep your use of the frequent things for climbing and everything closer to you, so you don't have to climb or strain, or keep the items closer to you rather, so you don't have to climb on a ladder. Make sure there is enough lighting, especially in the night times. A night light and a good enough light is very important for us to have good visibility. Check and repair any damages to walkways or steps. These are all regular things. Wearing proper shoes. I see a lot of seniors who do not wear proper soled shoes. If you do not have good sole on your shoes, it can cause a lot of knee concerns, and that can become a problem with recurring fall episodes. Also, poor vision. If your cataract is not done, or if you're having hearing problems, make sure that those things are done, because that can be another episode for fall. Let's say if your grandchild is running from behind, you're not able to see him, her, or she's coming from behind, you're not able to hear. That could be another concern where you could have a fall. Also consider having extra personal security by using a mobile alert. I think all this we are very aware of. Medications errors, which is a big concern. Today, we are in a phase of polypharmacy. We take so many different medications. For example, my mom would agree with this. There are many times where she has probably taken some medicine and it has caused some vertigo issues for her, or she may have not eaten properly and she has an upset stomach and she has dizziness. So be very aware of the medications that you take that could tend you to becoming dizzy or becoming oozy, or having diarrhea, things like that can cause dizziness. And stay active. This, of course, I know all our India Home members are very active people, because I know you, I see you every week doing yoga and all of this. But stay active, and activity includes walking, weight resistance exercises, especially for women. We do not do as much weight resistant exercises, and in the Asian Indian culture, we do not have a lot of that where we go to the gym and do a lot of it, at least the previous generations. So try and just do dead weights, just put a natural resistance and do some dead weights as much as possible, whether it is just lifting a can of milk or whether it's lifting a couple cans, whatever it is, try and keep some weight resistance exercise very active, because that's very important. Or you can just take an elastic band as it's shown in this picture here. Just take that elastic band and do some weight resistance exercise. This is very natural. You don't have to do any gymming and everything. Just ghar mein baith ke, you can take a simple elastic band and then keep moving it up and down or sideways, or circle it, or put it on a door and then pull it up and down. This helps even with the leg strength, with the hand strength and everything. And when you're sitting in the table, for example, I just wanted to show a simple exercise that you could do. You could just be sitting and then lifting your leg up and down, which they've shown the yoga exercises. but put some resistance to yourself when you're doing it. Lift it up and down, up and down, up and down. So this is a natural dead weight resistance exercise that you can do, especially to keep your bones healthy. The other thing I wanted to share about was sarcopenia. This is a technical term, but I think we should all be aware of it today because we are all going to be living longer and more years than our previous generations. We do see that our grandparents, our parents, us, we are all going to be living more than 75, more than 80, more than 90 sometimes, which means the chances of muscle loss is more. This is a very natural occurring phenomenon. Nobody's going to be stopping. You can't. Nature is very, it's going to be very non-forgiving sometimes also. So you are going to lose some of that muscle mass in your body, whether it be through natural weight loss or by poor nutrition or by cause of diseases or just with aging. Kahi to bhi you're going to see that muscle loss happening one way or the other. In order to avoid that muscle loss, weight resistance exercises are very important. Eating enough protein is very important. And as I was talking about earlier, when we talk about the omega-3 sources, very, very, very important, my dear friends. 250 milligrams to 500 milligrams of, these are just two categories of the omega-3. You can be vegetarian and get it from flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, spinach, raspberries, blueberries, pine nuts, mangoes, broccoli. Sab kuch se milta hai omega-3. You don't need a whole lot. If you are eating fish, within one serving of 2 ounces of fish, you can actually get your omega-3. Omega-3 has got a lot more properties besides just helping with this condition. And it also prevents the muscle loss. That is what I'm trying to say. So while you have muscle loss happening, you can delay that muscle loss by consuming enough omega-3. So on an average, if you eat about 3.5 ounces of seafood, you will get, or about 8 ounces of per week of any kind of fish or other foods, you will get your omega-3. And you can also get your omega-3 from plant-based foods. Yani ke flaxseed, you can get it for 1 tablespoon, you can get about 2.4 grams. This is pretty much what you need for the whole day or more. Chia seeds, 5 grams or 1 ounce of chia seeds in your yogurt, or you can put it in your muffins, or you can put it in your, dal. All of this, you can actually get your omega-3. Beans, any kind of beans like your rajma or your lentils, any type of lentils will give you anywhere, half a cup can give you 0.10 grams of omega-3. And finally, walnuts, an ounce of walnuts, which would be less than about a cup, a handful, will give you 2.6 grams of omega-3. So I think we have enough and more omega-3 on the natural sources that we could get. Yet again, a lot of people take fish supplements, or they take fish oil supplements. At one time, I think this was in the early 90s or the 2000s, fish oil supplements were very, very, very important for cholesterol. They used to, all the doctors, cardiovascular doctors used to write prescription for fish oil supplements. Go and take fish oil supplements. But today, I would still recommend for you to get it from the natural sources, if anything else first, and then do it afterwards with any of the other ones in terms of the supplements. So fish oil supplements ke bare mein apne doctors se pooch lo, apne dietitian se pooch lo, apne nutritionist se pooch lo, and then do it. Please don't do it just, oh, Lalita told me to take omega-3. No, I want you to first get it from your food sources and then reach out for supplements. So how can you improve strength and balance to stay without falling? Very, very important. Exercising with weights, iske bare mein to humne kaha tha, you don't have to have big dumbbells and go to the gym and everything. Get a natural resistance band, elastic band le lo aur aise kar lo. Nahi to take a can of milk and then just keep lifting it, or take a couple cans of corn or beans or whatever it is, put it in a bag and just keep lifting it from up and down. Same way, put it on your leg, put some dead weight on your leg and lift it up and down. It helps for the bones. Be involved with a lot of, physical activity in effect. Also, resistance training, which we have spoken about. Circuit training for people who are like overactive, they do marathons, they can do a lot of running, they can do a lot of interval training also. And of course, walking, needless to say, when the weather is good, we are going to face bad weather very soon. Hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed that October will also be nice for us. If we get enough sunshine and if you're able to go out, please go out. Even if you need to wear a light jacket, go out, get some sunlight, get some fresh air. Please keep yourself active. So, in essence, stay active, eat well, keep hydrated. Very, very, very important. We have spoken about this in different scenarios, but today, even more, because once you are dehydrated, your sodium level drops, your potassium level goes out of whack, you can be at a big risk for having chakkar or having dizziness or increasing your, getting your blood pressure out of whack. And that can cause you to fall down. Lot of cases where they've had issues of fall is because of dehydration, especially with older adults. Take care of your eyes, take care of your ears, managing your medicines, and supporting your bone health, which we spoke about earlier, and also choosing the right shoes. So I think we spoke about this already. Yeah. So this is good. I think I'm going to stop sharing first. And I actually wanted to have a good discussion about this. We have about 39 people who are watching me today. Pele, I want you to let me know. I'm going to quiz you today because I give you a lot of information. So I'm going to see how many of you are paying attention to listen to me. Okay. Are we all game?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Madhuji. That's a sport. So it's we get so much information today. Even if Lalita is not there, if you go to the internet, you go to Google Devta will give you all the information that you need. But be able to remember that and put it in perspective when you're actually doing your daily activities, when you're taking care of yourself, putting it into practice is very important. So
that's true.
I'm going to ask, I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to have you volunteer for me. And I'm going to ask you to, hold on a second. I would like to see all of you, Pele. Okay. So we spoke about fall prevention. First of all, how many of you in today's session can tell me if you have ever had an incident? I know, I'm sorry about that if you've had an incident of a fall, but किस तरह का incident हुआ था आपके life में? Can you please share it with me? Any one person, first of all.
I have falls, had few falls.
Madhuji, please.
Yeah, I've had few falls and bad ones, like luckily
I'm so sorry.
I've come out of it.
Okay.
Once I fell down, I trip a lot.
Okay.
Like something, even a little thing, like a tile is a little high. Or even the mats are down, the mat of you keep in the kitchen or somewhere. So I have to really look and go, otherwise I trip. And I've had falls like few years back, 3 years back. I tripped on something, such a small thing, and I broke 3 bones on my shoulder and arm. So I'm okay. I mean, I did therapy. I didn't go for surgery. I'm 80% okay, but I've fallen few times.
Well, I'm so glad that you survived the falls and you're up and running, Madhuji. That's an inspiration. That's the spirit.
Yes.
So and keep going.
The big fall I had was I tripped again and went and hit a iron gate and I got a cut. And the whole flesh came out. I had stitches and tongue, but still, I'm okay. That's a good thing.
Madhuji, that is very scary, but I'm so glad you can put a smile to it and just say
I have few bad falls. Yes.
No, but Madhuji, tell me this. Do you use a cane?
I have started now when I go out. But when I'm at home, I can walk. But then I have to really look around a lot. That there is something.
So this is a very active discussion in my household. I have my in-laws with us who's going to be, my father-in-law is going to be 90, Amma is going to be 80, Amma is 80. And I keep telling them, even if you don't need a cane, the cane will help reduce the extent of a fall.
I think more than that, it helps me outside because I have to carry my body when I'm walking, and the legs, my legs are not good. So the stick helps me to walk.
Correct. So sometimes, Appa especially is so active. He does 25 Surya Namaskars every day, and he doesn't want to use the cane because he feels he's compromising his abilities to do it by himself. But it is just a way of protecting you, giving you that extra assurance that if you do trip or if you do have an imbalance, that the fall may not be so severe.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Please, if you do have that imbalance, please correct it by using a cane, or if it is a walker or whatever it is. I know we are all going to be at that stage at some point in time. We definitely want to stay young at heart and stay young at mind and life. But once in a while, if you do require that support, take that support. It's very important to do that. So Madhuji, are 84, you, you're 84, Madhuji?
Yes.
You don't look anything more than 60.
No, my legs will tell you that I'm more than 84.
You're awesome. You're awesome. But that's a wonderful thing to hear, that you've overcome these falls. Like Amma, she had a fall early this year. My mother-in-law had a fall. She overcame the fall, and a very, very determined woman, very strong woman, very strong-hearted. She would not give it a second. She wanted to do the physical therapy. She wanted to come back. She wanted to start, so it's also your determination.
Yeah, I know. I did that. I did really.
Good, Madhuji. I'm proud of all of you. So now we're going to quiz. Okay, I'm going to not pick people, but you're going to pick yourself and tell me ki, if you require 60 grams of protein, and maybe a male person can answer this question, or a female too, because I'm talking about 60 grams of protein for a male individual. From morning to night, what all are the things that you would choose? Kishanji, I'm going to ask you, Kishanji.
Hi, Lalita, how are you?
Doing well, Kishanji. How about you?
Now, good to see you, and good to see your what you call making rava dosa. It smelled good also.
I will feed you some when I come in person. Boliye.
Yeah, right.
How will you get your 60 grams of protein?
Try to get it from chia seeds and flax seeds and egg.
Okay.
And I think and milk also, combination of these 4 or 5 items. So I should have enough protein.
Awesome. I think those are all very good choices. And are you taking any calcium supplements, or how do you get your calcium?
Yes, I do take supplements of calcium, but not sure that I'm getting enough calcium and vitamin D3 also outside. So I take a supplements, yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, one way that you can find out is jab aap physical karte ho, every saal jab physical karte ho, sometimes they do the metabolic panel. And if you are able to look at the metabolic panel and they look at all of those measurements, if your doctor finds that you have calcium overload or less calcium, they let you know. Similarly for vitamin D2. But there is a concern with calcium supplements, you guys, calcium citrate or calcium oxalate, whatever you're taking. If you have a heart condition, they do say be careful with calcium supplements, because it can harden your arteries. If there is a blockage in your heart, or if you have a condition, be very careful with taking calcium supplements. So Kishanji gave a very good answer. The top sources of protein, which is egg, dairy, your chia seeds, you can get it from your lentils and pulses. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to pick
on that one, I will also mention something. Actually, 2 friends of mine recently, I'm not going to name names, a lot of members know them. They fall down recently, and both of them being ladies, and reason being all those one, one was outside the house, one was inside the house. They fell down because they were wearing a flip-flop slippers. And they lost their balance, they fell down, they broke the bones and everything. So one of them, she's still in
That is
hospital.
very sad. That is very sad. And I wouldn't even, blame a certain age. I think women in general are a little bit more vulnerable with falls with the footwear. At my age right now, it's all about wearing steel toes and wearing high heels. So once in a while, when I do that, I also have a fall. So I am not privy to that. So that is a different category, but I'm talking about for style when you wear steel toes, But now I've realized after turning 40 that your footwear is very, very important and you have to be very careful about what you wear. Comfortable shoes.
Also, Lalita, I don't use a cane here because the roads and sidewalks are really good. But every time I had on my personal experience, every time I go to India, the first I had a bad experience of potholes and uneven roads. And after that, believe me or not, I am taking a cane in India. Every time I go to India, I use a cane.
Very good point, Kishanji. Very good point. You're right about it. Mera Bharat Mahan, but Mera Bharat still has a lot of potholes and a lot of bad roads, which we need to correct.
Yes.
And very, very important point made. Thank you so much, Kishanji. Goelji, I saw you walking down the room with your walker and you're doing awesome there. How did you enjoy today's session? I'm going to ask you a question. If you do want to get your omega-3, Goelji, where will you get it from?
He has to unmute. Uncle ji, unmute करना है. Purnima ji को बुलाओ.
हाँ, okay, we'll wait for him. We'll wait for him to come. 1 second. Purnima ji, sorry to bother you.
Boliye, tell me, sorry.
So I wanted to ask Dad if he wants to get his omega-3 sources, where will he get it from? Goelji.
Tameko, how you get it? You should know, Papa. I give you that.
Nuts.
Okay, very good. Awesome.
What else?
Walnut.
Walnuts, excellent.
Besides that, Papa, I do give you when I make smoothie. What is it? What I put?
Unko hint do na, Purnima ji. Give him a hint.
I put flax seeds, correct?
Flax seeds.
Awesome, Goelji. Yay, good job, Goelji. I'm so happy that you're taking it and you're maintaining your health, Goelji.
Yeah.
Very, very happy.
I just have one question. I slightly roast and I grind the flax seeds and have it with cinnamon and what is it? Little bit of turmeric in the morning. So can I give it to him?
Pakka, absolutely.
In the morning. That is the first thing in the morning. Yeah, I take it myself.
Yeah.
So can I give it to him with cinnamon?
Absolutely. The lot of the reasons why they roast seeds is to take that extra moisture away. So you get that
just
flavor.
slightly. Yeah,
nutty flavor ho jata hai. Like I was saying, the dosa powder, you can add a little bit of flaxseed powder to it. Flaxseed, a little bit in there. You can add it in there.
He keeps falling like it's his pastime. He keeps falling and then he tells me that I fall carefully so that I don't break my bone. Now what do I tell him? I keep
He's
getting
awesome.
angry.
I want to give him a hug
He's
right
not
now.
awesome. You come and stay with him and then you tell me whether he's awesome or he's not awesome.
Listen, Purnima ji, I know exactly how you feel because I have a 90-year-old gentleman in my household too, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Appa keeps falling down and he keeps rolling up. He keeps falling down and keeps rolling up.
Oh, he doesn't. He keeps sitting for half an hour, 45 minutes till somebody comes. He will not even call out. What do you do to that?
Maybe Mother Nature is taking care of him. Let's pray. Let's hope that he is okay and he stays well.
Just 2 days back, he has fallen down. On Thursday he fell down. Friday again he fell down. Now what do I do to him? Sometimes he injures himself so badly. He's full of blood, and I ask him, Papa, what happened? Oh, I don't know what happened. And literally, you know that he's oozing with blood. His shirt is like it's literally blood is pouring.
Give
That
him a
kind of-
hug right now on my behalf, please.
No, I'm very angry with him. For last 2 days, I've been really angry with him. You
It's
have no
okay. You're
idea.
his daughter. You're his daughter. You can get angry with him, but I cannot. And I really think
Right.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
effort to be living in that, with all a lot of disabilities, we still kind of have the perseverance and the determination to live. I think that's very important. I do agree with you. The caretakers do find it hard sometimes, and you want to kind of, you feel frustrated when you're helpless, when you're not able to do things for them. But that's
exactly.
the part of life, Purnima ji. That's the part of life. Maybe when we get to their age, we'll realize, oh my God, that's why Papa didn't say much, or that's why Mom didn't say much.
Yeah.
Oh, Lalita ji, I
I
appreciate.
keep telling him to sit straight. He won't sit straight. His back has bent like this, believe
I
me.
know.
But he
I
doesn't
know.
want to sit straight.
Yeah,
What do I
Geeta ji,
tell
you were saying something.
So anyway, that is from you. I'm giving him a hug.
Please, please, please. Thank you.
It's from you, not from me. Thank you so much.
Gulji. Thank
For
you. Thank
giving
you.
us so much time.
Oh,
Thank
do
you.
you know
Anytime,
his energy,
anytime.
Lalita ji, lot of our seniors, I mean, well and good, they don't want to come to senior centers. Still, he comes to our Hindu Mandir location. I love him. He is such a positive energy. He still comes. Yeah,
But
thank
he
you.
comes always late. You should tell him to come in time, please.
Purnima ji,
He
you're
always,
being very
and
hard on
I'm
Goyal ji.
forever angry with him that why he goes so late.
No,
You're very hard on Goyal ji. I'm going to kidnap Goyal ji for 10 days here, and then you will say, please bring him back.
I know he's everybody's favorite, but he doesn't listen to me. That's why I'm angry.
I know. I think he takes the liberty with you. Okay, folks, we have two more.
Thank you.
We have a few more minutes. Thank you, Purnima ji. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you so
Thank you,
much.
Goyal ji. Okay, we've got a few more minutes. I'm going to ask you a quick question. I'm going to give you a scenario, a case study. Okay, so we have a lady whose name is Lalita. Let's assume her name is Lalita. She is 75 years old. Okay, she is 75. She has had one bypass surgery and quadruple bypass, or one bypass surgery, not quadruple, bypass surgery. She is on 2 blood pressure medications, and she is taking her choice for omega-3 fatty acids, or omega-3, is nuts, as in pistachios, cashew nuts, almonds, walnuts, all of these. She eats at least a handful, but they're all salted.
That's not good.
No good. Who says so?
Unsalted.
Unsalted.
Yes.
Unsalted. Okay, very
Because
good.
of
Can she
blood
have a little bit? Can she have a little bit with sea salt?
No.
Same
No.
thing.
It was salt even.
No
It is
salt.
also salt.
No salt. Okay, very good. Bandhus, you are all on the right track. I think you're good to go. You can start teaching nutrition.
No. I'll tell you what I do. I got
boliye
flax
Madhu
seeds,
ji.
I've got chia seeds, but I'm so lazy and I forget and I don't take it. So that's the worst thing. That's not good.
But you know what, Madhuji, then what you need to do is आपके bed के side में थोड़ा सा chia seeds, वो सारे flax seeds का mix करवा के, trail mix करवा के, just keep it by your bedside.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's what I decided.
That way you'll remember at least to take it once in a while. So the same lady, 75-year-old Lalita, she is 5'4". She has already got some osteoporosis. She is 160 pounds. Okay, guys, 5'4", 160 pounds. She's a little overweight, mind you. And she is vegetarian. What will she do to get good sources of lean protein? I want somebody new to give an answer.
Lean protein.
Lean protein, yani ke not much fat, because she's had a cardiovascular surgery. She is overweight. She has to maintain muscle mass. She has to get enough protein. How much protein does she need, first of all, on an average? Anybody who's not given an answer, come on, you guys. I know you know the answers. Even if it's a wrong answer,
40
we'll
to
correct it.
50.
40 to 50
5
grams.
to 50. 45 to 50 protein.
45 to 50 protein. Okay. And who gave the answer, please? Jyotsna ji.
Neha.
Neha ji. Okay. Neha ji, can you tell me what sources can she get it from?
Broccoli.
Broccoli. Okay.
Sprouted mug.
Sprouted.
Quinoa.
Sprouted moong. Very good.
Moong
Quinoa,
is
very
good.
good.
Quinoa.
How about
Paneer.
the cheese?
Okay.
Cheese, yeah.
Cheese. Okay. Would you do full fat cheese or low fat cheese?
Cottage cheese. Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. Thank you very much. Okay. And what else? What kind of physical activities would you suggest that she does, considering that she is overweight? What kind of physical activities would you consider that she does?
Weight-bearing exercise.
Weight bearing
Walking.
exercises. Very good point. Because she has to lose the weight. And if she starts losing weight, what will she lose? Anybody?
Fat.
Extra fat.
She will lose fat, but she will also lose something which is good for
Body
her.
mass.
Muscles.
Muscles.
Muscle mass.
Muscle. Sarcopenia. Remember the term, sarcopenia. So remember that with losing your fat mass, you also lose muscle mass. You want to be
Yes.
more careful about losing the weight. So when Lalita wants to do the exercises regularly, she needs to be walking at least for a good 30 minutes at a medium pace, where your heart rate is anywhere between about 120 to 130. So you don't need to be panting, but you need to be walking brisk. And the walking will definitely be a good exercise. But besides that, she definitely needs to do some weight-bearing exercises. Okay. Awesome. Okay, now next question, last question, and we will wrap up after that, and then we will have any comments or any questions to be answered. And you have recorded the session, Geeta ji, for the Rava dosa also?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I'll send the ingredients and everything just to make sure that everybody has it. Okay, the next question is, our gentleman here, his name is Joseph. Joseph is 75 years old. Joseph is 6 feet tall. Okay, he still has quite a bit of height. He's a tall man. He has severe osteoporosis and he has dairy intolerance. Yani ki he has lactose intolerance and he cannot consume any dairy products. But he needs a lot of calcium. He's taking calcium, but he's not getting enough calcium. And he also needs another important vitamin to go with it. What would you recommend that he do for his calcium sources? Where can he get it from? And what is the one vitamin that he requires that he needs to take in order to avoid further bone loss? Yeah.
Vitamin
D3.
Soya milk.
Vitamin D3.
Calcium.
Vitamin D3. किसने आंसर किया? आपका नाम बताइए please.
Neha.
Neha ji again. Neha ji is on a roll today. Very good, yes, Neha ji. Yes. Vitamin D3, and you also need to get where will you get your calcium from? Calcium. What kind of foods? Somebody else give me an answer.
Soya milk. Soya milk.
Soy milk, yogurt. Wait. I told you he is intolerant to dairy products. So he may not do yogurt. Yogurt could be sometimes that he could be tolerant, but still it's an iffy. Some people can be very sensitive to yogurt also. So what else can
Goat milk.
Supplement.
Goat milk.
Okay, very
Goat
good.
milk.
Very good. Goat milk, oatmeal milk, almond milk. Thank you very much. Almond milk. Neelam ji, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Figs. And Kishan ji was saying he could be an a potential candidate for being prescribed supplements. These are the times when you would really require supplements. When you have a bone density problem and you have a bone loss, your doctor will definitely recommend you to take either an injection or
a weekly tablet.
Medicine. That
medicine.
Is every week one time you have to take morning early, and 1 hour after that you have to drink or eat.
Correct. Correct. You're right. Urmila ji, that's a very good point made. You do have to take a supplement once in a while, vitamin D supplement. And
Yeah,
also,
have that.
what is one exercise that we all know that you are doing regularly that involves a lot of flexibility, that involves a lot of weight bearing, that involves a lot of relaxation? What is the one exercise that, or one form of exercise that you can do?
Walking. Yoga.
Yoga.
Surya
I do
Namaskar.
Yoga is the best way to get your exercises, right?
Breathing.
right.
Walking.
Excellent.
Breathing.
Okay.
Breathing
So,
exercise.
breathing
Breathing.
exercises. Next month, October ke liye, I was thinking I'm going to do about 2 or 3 soup recipes. I'm going to show you the making of the soup, because it is time now because of fall season. I'm going to give you some soup recipes, and I'm also going to show you the importance of using herbs and spices in your food, because Thanksgiving time and during the fall seasons, a lot of your herbs, your dried herbs and spices will be of great use. So let's get on our, on our media, and we will talk about soups and herbs and spices. And today's session, like I told you, Geeta ji has recorded it. I have given it to you as a presentation also. Once again, you can get all the information out there on Google, but putting it into application is very, very important, very, very critical. So please be mindful, be careful, be aware of your surroundings, and eat healthy and stay well hydrated and stay active and keep smiling. It is always a pleasure to talk to all of you and meet all of you. And thank you so much, Geeta ji and Kavita ji, for making this happen. And hopefully soon I get to see all of them in person.
Lalita, can you tell me what is the
Thank you.
difference between osteopenia and osteoporosis?
Very good question. Osteopenia is actually where you have the direct loss of the bone, where that the size of the bone can be going down. It can reduce. So you will have a curvature of your back, spine, and everything. Osteoporosis is more hollowness of the bone. So there is a condition that I can, in terms of the medical condition, it is very different. But both are bone diseases, and one leads to the other, which means osteopenia can lead you to osteoporosis.
To stop osteopenia, is there something that I can do, like other than walking and eating healthy?
Weight bearing exercises. Weight bearing exercises are very critical for you, especially because you are causing the shrinkage of the bones. The bones also shrink, just like how your body shrinks and your skin shrinks. Weight bearing exercises is very, very important. So just dead weights, just like how Chanda ji is doing it right now. So just dead weight, and just doing this. Just add some resistance. When you do that, imagine that you have some weight on your hand and do it like this. Okay. So those would be very helpful. You're welcome.
Thank you
Neelam.
so much.
You're
Thank
welcome. You're welcome. Chalo, I think we are off and we are done. I think 6 minutes early. Is that okay, Geeta ji?
Yeah, that's fine. It's 11:08. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So good job, everybody. I think we did a great session today. Thank you very much. Namaste.
I'm going to make rava dosa
Thank
today.
you very much.
You're going to make rava dosa? Yay! Send me a picture through Geeta ji and enjoy, everybody.